Damon and David from Brief Your Market. You guys will send out 200 million estate agency emails this year, so you must know what good looks like for open rates. So give me some top tips for subject lines on open rates.
Yeah, I think making sure the subject lines are really engaging is one of the top tips. So making sure that they grab your attention, because as we know, emails today is a very in and out factor.
Well, all of us just log on and we delete most of them, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. So they've got to be attention grabbing. Me personally, I really like subject lines, and you can do this inside Brief Your Market where it says your name, so you can say...
Oh yes, data field, big tip.
Yeah.
You bastard, I was going to say that one.
So that's a huge one for me.
Yes.
Actually making it really personal, really relevant, and attention grabbing. The third one for me is emojis. So actually utilising emojis inside subject lines has been proven to be really, really successful.
You shocked me.
Yeah, so it's a study that came out 8-9 months ago, because obviously of the industry now that emojis, you text everyone. David constantly uses thumbs up to me.
There you go.
Well, maybe thumbs down.
Hashtag smiley face.
Yeah, or maybe thumbs down. So emojis are a really engaging way to understand.
I didn't know you could put them in subject lines.
You certainly can. Yeah. Well, you can through briefyourmarket.com.
Hey.
So the other factor for me is actually, I know this is going to sound strange, but making sure you have some kind of reference to the date. So if it's a winter campaign or a summer campaign or March or April, then actually putting that in the subject line so people have consistency. The next factor for me is when you have consistency from a month perspective, that making sure you're sending it at a very similar time, because actually time and subject lines are equally bound. That if you're sending one in March and you normally send it on the 25th, then make sure you send it on the 25th again and again and again, because people are expecting it and they're getting used to it.
What about time of day?
So,
Sorry, should I jump in?
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's okay. A couple of other things for me around that is the quality of content. So if I get an email from you and it's pretty rubbish, when the next one comes through, it doesn't matter what the subject line is, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be putting that at the bottom of my list rather than the top. So sending out something that's really good quality, properly thought through, is absolutely key. And then coming on to exactly what you were going to say, which is time of day and day of week are absolutely key. And Damon knows much more about that than me. So
it's quite interesting. Time, again, like I said, time and subject lines are intrinsically bound. You've seen lots and lots of studies coming out of the estate agency that says the most prolific time now is between 5 and 9 o'clock at night, where most agencies are closed. And we see the same inside Brief Your Market. Scheduling an email send for 6 o'clock, most people sit and eat the tea, and then the next thing they do is sit on the sofa and read their emails. And we definitely see a spike in that. However, again, that comes back to content as well, that if you're doing different types of content, then 9 o'clock in the morning might be the right time, or midday. Great thing about briefyourmarket.com is inside the return on investment report, it tells you the best time that you can send it to your database. So it makes sure that when the content that you're writing, it advises you the time to send it.
Because of course, you have thousands of estate agents using your system. You should be able to see what works and what doesn't, which comes back to what we were saying in the previous video. You can go and buy MailChimp for free, but it doesn't tell you anything apart from just throwing it out. Yeah,
that's right, Chris. And I think also as well, briefyourmarket.com is always about relevant content at the right time on the right channel. What worries me is a lot of companies say 5 o'clock's the best time or 7 o'clock's the best time. It depends on the content, it depends on what you send in, and therefore Brief Your Market really advises you the right time to send.
If I could share some great tips with you that I've picked up.
Please do.
Putting the name of the town in the subject line, I've found with my 100 or so clients works really, really well.
Right.
And if you can put the 3 pawn words, which is town, property market, colon, and then something, because I'm a content writer, I write articles, and that works really, really well if you put the subject line as well. Yes, names of people, that's absolutely bang on. And then if you're doing hot properties, actually put the address of the property as well. I find that works. I get feedback from people that works well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're all
Okay.
great.
What's your thoughts about putting images in the email itself?
I think what you have to remember is a lot of people, when they open emails inside Outlook, it doesn't default to downloading images, so someone has to be able to download them. When you just put images in, you have to remember when they see it in the preview pane, it's just going to show little red X's everywhere. So I completely agree with images. However, you have to make sure that people who aren't downloading content, you have an attention-grabbing text line that gives them a reason to download it.
What about putting the images at the bottom so it's text at the top? So, you know.
Yeah, I think you can do it that way. We do a lead article that's got text, then image, and then richer text, richer images and less text.
Again, a really micro question is, do you think agents should put the word dear or hi at the start?
I think that's a great question. I think for me, it depends on how you are with your database. What always worries me is people come up with blanket statements, but when you really understand your data and when you really are an expert, then it depends on your customer base. So people who are in more affluent areas might prefer a dear sir compared to people who are in more like townships that might like that friendly hi. So again, understanding your data, understanding your market would be the right addressable function.
Well, that's some top tips there from basically the kings of email marketing when it comes to estate agency. So if these guys don't know, I don't know who does. So gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers. Thank you.